Welcome everyone to a brand new episode of your favorite weekly news capsule. Igraspers, we are used to thinking about charity as an action, but it is important to think of charity as the state of the heart. Every good act comes from a charitable place. And while it is true that charity begins at home, it shouldn't end there. It's now time to begin with our news capsule.
Thanks to the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign, India was all decked up and ready to celebrate 75 years of independence, with the tricolour flying in almost every corner of the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi delivered his Independence Day speech from the Red Fort in New Delhi on Monday and paid tribute to the country's freedom fighters. Ahead of the speech, he unfurled the national flag amid a 21-gun salute by the indigenously developed gun ATACMS, followed by a shower of flower petals by helicopters. During his speech, he spoke of the importance of respecting women as an important pillar of India's growth and emphasized on the need to extend support to Nari Shakti. He also thanked French President Emmanuel Macron, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, and Nepalese Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Dubba for congratulating India on this special day. The Indian flag was even unfurled 30 kilometers above the earth in near space thanks to ISRO. With these celebrations, India completes its 75 years of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and we can't wait to see how our country grows and develops this year.
Last week, the British government officially declared a drought across southern and central England as Europe experiences one of its hottest and driest summers in around 500 years. Did you know that there has been no significant rainfall for almost 2 months in most of the European continent? This has resulted in the drying up of rivers such as the Tille River in France and the Rhine in Germany, and the death of many fish and crops. It has also caused many countries to restrict water usage and conserve while farmers continue to struggle to produce their yields. We hope the continent sees some relief as they anticipate the upcoming monsoon season in a few months.
As customers are increasingly conscious of what and how many calories they consume, a UK restaurant is attempting to add another important indicator called a footprint. Did you know that the average British person has an annual carbon footprint of more than 10 tons? This is also influenced by the food choices they make, which is why a restaurant in Bristol has decided to add the carbon emissions caused by the production of each food item on the menu. Now, customers will know that a real beef burger's emission is around 10 times the amount of its vegan alternative. We definitely hope to see more initiatives that empower consumers to make responsible decisions so that we can achieve net zero emissions by 2050.
The world's fastest land animal is ready to make a comeback in India more than half a century after it became extinct in the country. A group of 16 cheetahs are expected to make a long journey from Africa to their new home in a sprawling national park in India. This is the first time that a large carnivore is being moved from one continent to another and being reintroduced in the wild. Did you know that more than half of the world's cheetah population are found in South Africa, Namibia, and Botswana? The cheetah is the only large carnivore to have gone extinct in India due to hunting and habitat loss, and we can't wait to have them back as a part of our animal kingdom.
For all the space enthusiasts out there, we have some exciting news for you. You might be aware that while scientists have found a way to produce oxygen from water in the space station, it continues to be quite unfeasible because of the heavy machinery it uses. But now, thanks to a recent breakthrough, a team of experts have developed a way to separate oxygen from hydrogen in water using magnets. If this idea proves to be successful, it could be used to ensure unlimited oxygen supply to astronauts on missions to the moon, Mars, and beyond. What a fantastic way to expand the scope and scale of our discovery of the final frontier. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting news.
Earlier this week, global football governing body FIFA suspended the All India Football Federation due to undue influence from third parties, which according to them is a serious violation of the FIFA statutes. The decision to suspend was taken after the Supreme Court had appointed a committee of administrators to preside over the AIFF, and the decision will only be repealed once the AIFF administration regains full control. The biggest downside of this is that the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, which was scheduled to take place in India later this year, cannot currently be held as planned. We hope that we reach a peaceful and quick resolution to the same.
For all the pizza fans out there, here is some surprising news. Just 7 years after making its debut in Milan, Domino's Pizza is saying goodbye to Italy. The fast food giant closed the last of its 29 stores on the Italian peninsula after struggling to gain a foothold in the country. After facing tough competition from local restaurants during the pandemic season, the ambitious plans to open 880 Domino's stores in the country fell apart. Perhaps the homeland of pizza doesn't need another franchise in the first place.
In a remote village near the desert town of Jaisalmer is a female-only school called the Rajkumari Ratnavati Girls' School, accompanied by a women's economic center that promotes entrepreneurship for local women. Did you know that this stunning building can resist temperatures of up to 50 degrees Celsius and requires no air conditioning even in peak desert summer temperatures? This is because it was constructed by local artisans using hand-cut local sandstone found in the Thar Desert. Their uniforms were made by Sabyasachi Mukherjee using ajrak, a regional printing method, and young girls are taught coding from a very early age. The school's mission is to educate and teach women their traditional trades including embroidery, weaving and art. What an amazing initiative indeed!
The word of the week is indisputable. That which cannot be disputed, questioned or denied. What I saw is indisputable. It is a fact. The riddle of the week is a man was driving a truck. His headlights weren't on and the moon wasn't out. Ahead of him, a woman dressed in all black started crossing the road. Fortunately, the man applied brakes so she could cross. How did he see her? Because it was the middle of the day.
Can you guess who? This influential British film director is popularly known as the Master of Suspense. He has won 2 Golden Globes, 8 Laurel Awards, 5 Lifetime Achievement Awards, and was also knighted by the Queen in 1979. He has directed over 50 films, including Vertigo and Psycho. 8 of his films have been selected for preservation in the US National Film Registry. It is Alfred Hitchcock. Did you know that he developed his own style of cinematography that used the camera movement to mimic a person's gaze? This maximized the sense of fear and anxiety in a viewer. No wonder he is known as the Master of Suspense.
Did you know that during World War I, the French built a fake Paris to protect actual Paris, also known as City of Lights, from German bombing? The government decided to build a faux Paris in the northern outskirts of the city. The replica was so realistic that it had a dummy Champs-Élysées and a Gare du Nord and a train station that lit up at some points to show that the train was moving along the tracks.
Quiz time! Which famous Italian architect designed the city light displays to bring fake Paris to life? Send your answers to contact us at igraasp.com along with your full name, school name and a photograph. Answer to the last week's quiz. Chula, male kite, and pakpao, female kite, are the two types of kites featured in the fighting element of Thai kite fighting competitions. This certificate of appreciation is presented to Niyati of Wisdom World School, Kurukshetra, for successfully participating in the weekly quiz on India's leading news capsule for tweens, Igraasp.
Dear Igraspers, this week meet the railway children Roberta, Peter, and young Phyllis in the English countryside. One evening, the siblings discover that their father is being taken away by two strange men. Unable to stop this from happening, they are forced to live in a simple cottage next to the railway station. Here begins a set of new adventures and journeys, including their successful attempt to avert a horrible train disaster. But the mysterious disappearance of their father continues to haunt them. Will they find their missing dad? Read this novel and find out, and don't forget to share your feedback at igraasp.com/iClub.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of our news capsule. Charity is not just about making a donation, it is about making a difference. It is something you must do for your own inner peace and not for any attention or benefits. So look around you, you might find many in need of something you might be able to provide. That's all we have for you this week. See you again very soon. Bye-bye.